So hi everyone. Good afternoon from the Amsterdam office. Um, Welcome to today's webinar, one of our most popular webinars, Accelerate Your Financial Statement Procedures. So I think many of you have already probably seen that we have recently launched the latest version of Financial Statement Suite, version 6.1. So today we're gonna see and hear a lot more about what is new and improved with the latest version. Of course, we will also give you an in-depth demo, so stay tuned for that. But before we dive into it, let's of course go over the agenda for today. So today I will be talking about the key challenges that we see in financial statement procedures, as well as how introducing solutions just like Financial Statement Suite can help you overcome those challenges while bringing efficiency and maintaining the quality of your work. We will also see, of course, what improved with the latest version of Financial Statement Suite, version 6.1. And we will also give you, as I said at the beginning, an in-depth live demo. Before we jump into the webinar, let me introduce myself very quickly. My name is Olga, and I'm part of the product marketing team here at Data Sniper. And today I have Sangeeta with me, my colleague. She is the product and industry expert. Sangeeta, would you like to introduce yourself?
Perfect. Thank you, Olga. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon from Amsterdam. I'm Sangeeta Ramesh. I'm working as Transformation Manager at Data Snipper for almost 2 years now. Before joining Data Snipper, I was working as an external auditor for 7 years, and now I'm more bridging the gap between my ex-profession and the technology. Excited to be in the session today. I have seen the value of Financial Statement Suite when I was working as an auditor. So yeah, looking forward to show you the tool and also hear your feedback. So yeah, over to you, Olga.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Sangeeta. A couple of notes before we start with today's presentation. First of all, I see a big crowd today, which is great to see, of course. Some of you may be already very familiar with Financial Statement Suite and using it already and know the ins and outs of the tool, which is, of course, amazing to see. But we may have also people that are witnessing Financial Statement Suite for the first time today. So if you belong to this category and you would like to learn more about Financial Statement Suite and how it can help you accelerate your financial statement procedures, then the fastest way to do that is by reaching out to our sales team, and they will be more than happy to assist you. You can see a QR code on your screen that you can quickly scan with your phone, and it will take you to the book demo page. You can also see the same link on your screen. Of course, I will also drop all the links in the chat later for you so you can easily access them. But if you are already an existing Financial Statement Suite user and after witnessing all the new improvements and features of the latest version, would like to upgrade to this latest version, then of course you can do that by reaching out to your Data Snipper representative. If you don't really know exactly who that person is within Data Snipper, then I will also drop another link in the chat for you that will take you to our contact page. Then you can quickly fill out the contact form, and of course the right person will get back to you to assist you. One more thing to note, of course, the recording of this session will be available to you after the session, as well as it will be published on our website, datasnipper.com. During the live demo that Sangeeta will give you, if you have any urgent questions, feel free to put them in the Q&A section of Zoom. We will be moderating throughout, so of course, we can answer the questions in the chat, but of course, we will also try to leave a couple of minutes towards the end of this session, hopefully, so we can answer any remaining questions live for everyone to hear. And without further ado, let's get started. Every year we see the size of the annual report increasing in size and complexity, which means that auditing these reports is becoming more and more challenging for you. Well, what does this mean? Basically, the main pain points that we hear from you is manually calculating, searching, and comparing financial statements, losing valuable time due to repetitive tasks, adapting to a constantly evolving regulatory environment. Overall, these obstacles can lead audit reports to be more prone to error, lack documentation standards, and as a result, also decrease in overall quality. Well, if these problems sound familiar to you, I have good news for you today. This is exactly where Financial Statement Suite comes in. FSS aims to improve efficiency and accuracy by replacing repetitive and manual tasks with intelligent automation. It helps you perform and document financial statement procedures while you remain in full control at all times, as you will witness very shortly in the demo. Let's now see the favorite features among our community. First of all, with mathematical accuracy, Data Snipper analyzes the document and adds suggestions of valid totals and errors. You can easily review the totals and mark them as validated. Next, with internal consistency, you no longer need to scroll back and forth within your documents. You can easily review internal consistency with auto lookup and internal page matching. Next, with prior year consistency, Data Snipper automatically compares to financial statements and searches and validates the corresponding amounts between the different years. With tick marks, you can quickly analyze the suggestions of valid totals and errors and place the tick marks. This way of working will allow you to stay in full control. And finally, using version comparison, you can beat the version chaos. Data Snipper will compare different versions of financial statement and automatically highlight the changes between the versions. Now, the moment that you're all waiting for, let's see what is new and improved with the latest version of Financial Statement Suite, version 6.1. We'll go over the features one by one. So first, with Mathematical Accuracy Suggestions Editor, you can ensure mathematical accuracy with ease. With this new feature, you can instantly correct sums in your financial statements by editing suggestions or creating new ones yourself, as Sangeeta will show you in the demo. Next, you can now easily open password-protected PDFs directly within Financial Statement Suite. You just need to enter the password, and then you gain access instantly. Another new feature is that with version 6.1, you can now also choose where to store your FSS projects upon importing, whether local or cloud. And this will make your document retrieval very quick and easy. With this new capability, you can also achieve effortless handoffs in the cloud, letting your team continue where you left off, as a result, boosting teamwork and collaboration. With FSS version 6.1, the newest optical character recognition technology is also available for you to use, meaning that you will now benefit from even more improved accuracy. And finally, you can now boost Data Snipper adoption across your firm with user management. With this new feature, you can easily add and manage users from the Data Snipper dashboard, gaining visibility into the user activity and encouraging adoption. I realize that this may have been a lot of information for you, especially for the people who are witnessing FSS for the first time today. But please bear with me because, of course, later on, Sangeeta will show you everything in detail live for you. And of course, we can answer all the questions that you have. But before we do that, let's quickly recap what we've seen. With the latest version, we aim to drive real value. FSS can help you, first of all, eliminate repetitive tasks and streamline your workflow with improvements in your document management processes. This will provide more flexibility to your work and ultimately increase your efficiency. FSS will also give you more time to analyze and validate results with intelligent automation, improving, of course, the overall audit quality. And finally, you will be able to perform and document financial statement procedures with FSS while staying in full control, boosting overall accuracy. I think you've heard enough from me, so now I will leave the stage to Sangeeta and she will take you through everything we just mentioned from beginning to end. So please enjoy the demo.
Perfect. Thank you, Olga. Let me start sharing my screen. Okay, amazing. So for the beginners or for those who are looking at the financial statement suite for the first time, I'll be taking you in detail or through like the entire financial statement suite, which also includes the new features or the new highlights from version 6.1. And for those who are already using financial statement suite, please bear with me for the entire presentation. But the version 6.1 features or highlight might be even more interesting for you. So yeah, please do bear with me if it's the same repetitive thing. Yeah, financial statement suite, as Olga was mentioning, it's an add-on module to our core platform data snipper. And the main purpose and the main reason why financial statement suite was introduced is to assist the financial professionals in reviewing the annual report or financial statements. So as most of you in the call knows that Data Snipper is an Excel plugin. So now in order to initiate the financial statement suite, you have to access the icon from the Data Snipper add-in. And once we click on it, there is a whole new window that opens up. And this is the window where we will be reviewing our financial statements today. So in order to start, we can click on a Start Tick and Type project. And as usual, the first step is to select the current year document. So I'm going to click on it, and then you have to navigate where your documents are saved. If your annual reports or the financial statements are saved in SharePoint or OneDrive, which is then synced to your file explorer, then you can directly pick those financial statements or reports from OneDrive or SharePoint. Assuming 2021 is our current year, so I'm just going to select this as an example. And previous year is an optional, but if you would like to perform the prior year consistency check, then it's recommended that you also select the prior year document. So I'm just going to click on it and select my prior year document. The new highlight or the feature with version 6.1 is now you have an option to set the project location, like where you would like to save this financial statement suite project. You can either save it locally, or if your shared drive or OneDrive or SharePoint, if it is synced to your file explorer, you can also directly save it there, which helps in better sharing or better collaboration within your colleagues. Important point to note, even though you save this financial statement suite project in SharePoint or OneDrive, only one person at a time can access it, or if any one person can make a change at a time. But after the review is performed, in order to share the project, it's easy for the other colleague to directly pick from the SharePoint rather than sharing it through email. But you have the flexibility and control over where you would like to save the project. So I'm just going to save it in my desktop for today. And as soon as we select our current year document, the name of the project is automatically updated based on the name of the current year document. But you can either retain it as it is, or you can also customize it as per your requirement. So I'm just going to make it in 2021-2020 FS review. And we also have an option of OCR. OCR is optimal character recognition. In order to recognize the text on these financial statements, it depends upon the structure and layout of your financial statements. It's not always required to recognize the text. If you expect your annual reports or financial statements to look more structured, more neat, then you can also proceed without recognizing OCR. But if you expect your financial statement to be in a scanned copy or poor quality or with some handwritten notes and text, then it is recommended to run OCR for the better result. But in this example, I'm going to proceed without OCR, expecting my financial statement looks more neat and structured. So this is a new feature that comes with version 6.1, where we do support the password protected files. You have to enter the password the first time, and once the project is created, then you can open it any number of times without entering the password. So I'm just going to enter the password quickly. Submit. So now it performs all the financial statement review for us. And when you would like to share this project with your colleague, the colleague should also know the password, at least for the first time. So when they try to open the project, they will get a notification or a pop-up asking for them to submit the password. So once they submit it, they no need to resubmit it again every time they open the project. And this is a very important pop-up in my opinion, because the financial statement suite now has performed the review procedure and provided you with the suggestions. But it's always important we use our professional judgment and review the results obtained by Data Snipper or obtained by Financial Statement Suite in this case. So before we go in detail on what are the procedures that we perform, so this is how you create a financial statement project. And whatever the work that you do within this project is automatically saved. So if you just now click on Home icon, you will go back to the Financial Statement Suite window where the project that you just worked on is automatically saved. And if you would like to open any project that was already created and proceed with the financial statement review, you can click on Open Project and navigate where your project is saved. So in case if you have saved your project in SharePoint, then the colleague can directly pick it up from the SharePoint. In this case, I'm going to pick a financial statement project that was already created and click on Open. Perfect. So now we have the project open. To quickly take you all through this window or this layout, so now we have three procedures performed by the application: mathematical accuracy check, internal consistency check, prior year consistency check. And I'm going to talk about versions, comments, and export shortly during the session. And we also have a small calculator icon in the top right-hand side of your screen, where it can also perform some advanced calculation, which means it can now subtract, add, multiply, divide, and also find the variance percentage between two or more values. You can use this calculator throughout any of the procedures, review procedures that you can see within this application. As it will be a multiple page document, you have an option to navigate between the pages. You can zoom in, zoom out, rotate, and if you want to search for any key terms or keywords, then you can easily take help of the search icon. And in the footer, you can see the name of the document. So if you want some clarification, or if you just want to remember like which document you're reviewing, then you can look at the footer to understand the document name. Perfect. So let's start with a mathematical accuracy check. So mathematical accuracy check is to make sure that the totals and subtotals within your annual report is mathematically accurate or not. Any totals and subtotals that are mathematically inaccurate are suggested or listed out in the left panel as part of the suggestions. With the cross-referencing capabilities, you can just click on one of them and it automatically takes you to the respective page where the inaccuracy was noted. Few similar concept that you will hear from me throughout the session is one of this, like where all the inaccuracies are listed out as part of suggestion. And the next is in regarding the highlights or suggestions. So any totals or subtotals that are suggested or highlighted in blue are those totals and subtotals which are mathematically accurate. And any totals or subtotals that are suggested or highlighted in red are those totals and subtotals which are mathematically inaccurate. And if you hover over the total, it will highlight the breakdown in yellow, giving you a good overview on what is the composition of this total. So in this case, the 30 million is accurate. And if you want to confirm that this is accurate, you can just click on the value. There will be a tick mark placed next to the total, flagging that this total is mathematically accurate. And if you want to re-verify it, if the total is actually correct or not, then you can also use the calculator icon. Just click on the calculator, and by drawing a snip on the values, it automatically computes the total for you. And then you can decide or verify if this total is accurate or not. Now, with this total, like with this calculator, you also have an option to edit the numbers or edit the values that were snipped. So if you just double click on any of the number or value, then you can edit the number and you can come up with your own value. And if you want to do something calculation that is not mentioned anywhere in your financial statement, you can also quickly do that by editing mode. All you have to do is just double click. And in this case, the total is accurate. So I'm just going to click on value and apply the tick mark to flag the same. And now when it comes to inaccuracy, so this is flagged as inaccurate. And if I just click on a value, there is a red tick mark placed flagging that this total is mathematically inaccurate. And it also shows me a detailed breakdown within the calculator icon, which shows the detailed calculation and also mentions what is the exact difference noted, what is the expected total, and what is the difference noted. So in this case, the difference is around 2 or 20 million, I guess. So, and if you click on the tick mark now, there is also an auto-populated comment which says that the total is different. And if you would want to customize this content, you can also do this, or you can also retain the comment as it is. So now as soon as we apply the red tick mark, the suggestion that was listed out will be transferred to the list of findings, because suggestions are those that the tool provided you, suggesting that these are mathematically inaccurate, whereas the findings are those that are confirmed by you that these totals are mathematically inaccurate. And also with all the suggestions, you can easily navigate through all the suggestions. And within mathematical accuracy, we also have an option to allow difference up to. So if you have any certain difference threshold in your mind, and if you would like to already consider those difference threshold while you're reviewing the mathematical accuracy, you can accept or you can submit that amount. So let's say, for an example, any differences up to 50,000, I'm okay with. So you can just update the amount, click on apply filter. So as you can see, this 44 million, which was suggested in red, because of the difference of 50,000, is automatically translated to blue suggestion, which means any differences up to 50,000 is still considered as mathematically accurate and suggested in blue color. And if you want to remove the submission, then you can just delete or clear the content and click on apply filter. Then it will look for any differences. Anything above a cent will still be flagged as inaccurate. And the next, coming back to the new features or new highlights with version 6.1, there might be few possibilities that there are few totals that are not suggested or highlighted. It might be for multiple reasons, maybe due to the document layout or structure, maybe it couldn't identify that as a total. So in those instances, you can now create a suggestion and you can perform similar to the financial statements with how it creates the suggestion. So in this case, I have an example where there is no suggestion or no highlight. And if I would like to validate or verify if this total is mathematically accurate or not, of course, I can do it with the help of calculator. But if I do it with the help of calculator, it will not link or it will not show the breakdown for me. So by creating the suggestion, you can just click on the value and there is an option called create suggestion. And if you click on create suggestion, you have to select the breakdown and finish. Then it automatically suggests blue or red based on the summation of the breakdown that you just selected. So now you have the suggestions created and you can just click on it to apply the tick mark. So this is a way of creating a suggestion wherever you don't have a suggestion. And if you share this with a colleague or reviewers, if they just hover over it, they will see the breakdown properly. And this breakdown is very helpful when you have some subtotals which leading up to the grand total, actually to understand what is the composition of the total. And you can also just navigate through. And also we have an option here, like the 32 million is now suggested in red because it's flagging that this total is mathematically inaccurate. But now if we hover over it, it is actually missing the 7.7 million, the first number. Maybe that is the actual difference that's noted. So, and it's also not completely captured So the entire breakdown is not completely captured. So in these instances, now you have an option to override the suggestions that was created by the application by editing the calculation that the application came up with. In order to do that, you can right click and you would see an option called edit calculation, and you can select that and select the values that you would like to include. So this time you can completely select all the values that are supposed to be included for the total and click on finish. This automatically gives you the suggestion. In this case, it's still the red suggestion. It's because we have a difference of 1. And if the difference of 1 is due to a rounding off error, then you can also allow that difference as a difference threshold. But if you now hover over it, the composition or the breakdown is complete. So this is also a highlight from version 6.1 where you can edit the calculation that was provided with the application. And applying the tick mark, you can just click on the value to apply the tick mark, or you can apply to the page that you're currently reviewing. So we have around 15 suggestions within this page, and you can just click on to apply all the 15 suggestions. It not only recognizes the totals vertically, even the totals horizontal are also recognized and flagged. And to give you more flexibility, we have an option to apply all the tick marks to the document, irrespective of the correct or incorrect. But in order to provide a step ahead, you can just apply the correct tick marks, further investigate the incorrect one, or you can just apply the incorrect tick marks and keep the correct one for the last. So you have more flexibilities on application of the tick mark. I'm going to apply all tick marks to the document because I would like to show you how the final output looks like.
At this moment, I think a nice tip that I would like to highlight here regarding the apply to page button. This possibility can be enabled or disabled per organization level. So if you don't see that option in your financial statement suite, it means that your organization has disabled that option for you. But yeah, that's what I wanted to add at this point, Sangeeta.
Perfect. Thank you, Olga. Awesome. So this is mathematical accuracy check. Any questions so far?
Let me see. I'm already replying to a few of the questions in the chat, but one question I saw was about the direction of mathematical accuracy calculation, but I think you've already covered it, that it can be both horizontal and vertical. So I think this is already covered. I think we can proceed to the next step.
Perfect. Thank you, Olga. The next is internal consistency check. So the main purpose of the internal consistency check is to make sure that the phase of the financial statement reconciles with the respective notes and disclosures of the financial statement. So that is what we have tried to replicate here. So we have two copies of the same financial statement. The left one is where the phase of the financial statement will be shown, and the right one is where the references, the cross references with the notes and disclosures will be shown. And similar concept, all the inconsistencies will be listed out in the left panel, and you can click on each one of them to take you to the respective page. And I'm going to hide this so we have a better view. Similar concept in terms of suggestions and highlights. So any values that are suggested or highlighted in blue are internally consistent, and any values that are suggested or highlighted in red are internally inconsistent. So if we take an example of trade receivables, if I hover over 682,874, as you can see in the right side of my screen, the 682,874 from note number 7 is also highlighted in yellow, giving you a good overview on where we are trying to match the reference or where we are trying to link the internal consistency check. And if you click on the value, there will be an internal consistency tick mark along with the sequence number applied, both on the face of the financial statement and also with regard to the next to the respective note and disclosures of the financial statement. So the sequence number also helps in analyzing where exactly it is synced or referred to. And for now, like for the other receivables and deposits, it's suggested in red. So it's also good to understand how internal consistency check is performed. So it actually goes by the note number within your financial statement, the automated. So what it does is, if we take an example of trade receivables again, it goes to note number 7. It will try to find 682,874. And if it could find that, then it will suggest back in blue. And in the other example, other receivables and deposits, it goes to note number 8. It will try to find 8329914. If it couldn't find this value, it will look for an exact value. So if it couldn't find that value within the note number 8, then it will suggest back in red. And the reason why I'm explaining this, because it also influences how your financial statement looks like, if it has note numbers or if it is without note numbers. But we also have other ways in performing internal consistency check where you might not have note numbers listed out on your face. Let's also see how to do it. And for the inconsistency one, you can just click on it and there will be a tick mark applied both on the face and next to the note number. And if you click on the tick mark, there is an auto-populated comment, which you can either retain it as it is, or you can also customize it per your requirement. So now for those where you don't have note numbers, you can still perform the testing, or you can still perform the internal consistency check in several ways. And one of them is, for instance, let's say this is bank loan. We have the note numbers, but if you don't have any note numbers, then there is an option of references. So these references are the results of the information that we are trying to look from the financial statement. So in this case, the bank loan, the 23,697,968 is like it is found twice within the financial statement, one in page 43 and one in page 8. And you can hover over to go to the respective sheets or to respective pages. And if you want to link multiple references, you can also do that. So you can, if you don't have a note number, then you can take help of references in order to perform the internal consistency check manually. It still helps out because references, you already have the list where this value was found within your financial statement. All you have to do is pick and choose the color of the tick mark, and you will have the references made. So this is one of the way where you have the list of references that are available. So for instance, the total current assets or maybe total assets. We don't have any note number here, so we don't have any suggestions. So if you just click on it, it will show you the reference where it was found. And you can manually link and select the color of the tick mark in order to apply the tick mark. So this is one of the way of doing it. The other way is to add manual reference. So for instance, the income tax payable do not have any note number. So that's the reason why we don't have any suggestions or the highlights. And now if I click on this value, there are no references as well, which means it couldn't find an exact match anywhere within the financial statement. So it will look for 1414526. If it couldn't find, then the references will be empty. Then you have an option to add manual reference. Maybe there is a rounding of error, or maybe it's the composition of like multiple values that sums up to 1414526. So in those instances, you have an option to add manual reference. So you can click on add manual reference, maybe choose any value or the income tax payable value from your financial statement, and it applies the tick mark, and you can choose the tick mark. So maybe I'll choose incorrect tick mark. And now you have the incorrect tick mark placed both on the face and also with respect to next to the disclosure and notes. So this is one of the way where you can manually add the internal consistency tick mark when you don't have the references. And if you have the references, then you can pick any one from it and choose the color of the tick mark. And in regard to application of the tick mark, similar concept, you can either click on the value, or you can click on apply to the page that you're currently reviewing, or similar to mathematical accuracy, you can apply all the tick marks to the document, or you can just apply correct or incorrect tick marks. So I'm just going to apply all the tick marks to the document because I would like to show you how the final output looks like. So this is internal consistency check. Olga, any important questions that needs to be addressed now, or can we pause later for all the questions?
Just one thing that I would like to remind all of you, because I see some people are asking, the recording of this session will be available to you after the session, as well as it will be published on datasnipper.com. So do not worry about that. You can review the content in your own time. But please, Sangeeta, feel free to proceed.
Perfect. Thank you, Olga. So the next check is the prior year consistency check. So it is to make sure that the prior year value within the current year financial statement reconciles with the prior year financial statements. Few similar concepts. All the inconsistencies will be listed out in the left panel, and you can click on each one of them and it will take you to the respective page wherever the inconsistency were noted. And similar concept again in terms of suggestions or highlights. Any blue suggested prior year value are consistent with the prior year financial statement, and any red suggested prior year value are inconsistent with the prior year financial statement. And in this view, the left one is the current year financial statement and the right one is the prior year financial statement. And if you just hover over the suggestion, it will highlight the related value in yellow in the right part of your document or the right window where the prior year financial statement is shown, in order to give you a good overview on where the consistency check is performed in compared to the prior year financial statement. Even though the pages are different between the current year and prior year financial statement, that's still okay because it goes by the recognition of the table and header which says 2022 or the prior year period. And application of tick mark, similar, you can just click on the value to apply the tick mark. And for the red ones, it might be for multiple reasons. Sometimes the presentation might differ from last year to this year. So in those instances, as it finds for an exact match, if it couldn't find an exact match, it will result in red. And if you would like to change the color, because this is a new line item for 2023, then you can also change it by selecting the blue. Or if you want to retain it as it is red, you can also do that. So this is pretty straightforward. It will look for the prior year data from the current year financial statement to that of prior year financial statement. Application of tick mark, either apply to the document or apply to the page that you're currently reviewing. I'm just going to apply all to the document. And I also like to show you that there is an option or there is a possibility to customize your tick marks. So if I click on it, there is an option called custom tick mark. And if you click on custom tick mark, you would see another option called add custom tick mark. And you can come up with your own tick mark name, the characters that you would like to use for tick marks. You can also categorize it based on correct or incorrect tick mark. So you can create a custom tick mark. And once you create a custom tick mark, let's say the next step after the prior year consistency check, I'm going to perform a procedure or I'm going to perform a step to make sure the values reconciles with the respective trial balance. So I'm just going to create a custom tick mark and use that. So once we use the tick mark, it is automatically visible in the main legend. So you no need to go through the list every time. You can just pick from the main legend. And if you would like to, let me do it, perfect. If you would like to add some fun factor to your financial statement review, you can also create a smiley as a tick mark and feel free to, flag with a smiley if it's accurate or if it's correct, or maybe a red smiley to flag that it's not accurate or it needs to be further investigated. So this is custom tick mark. And also you can use the calculator to find out the percentage. So you can just select the percentage and just select the values and it will automatically gives you the percentage by how much percentage it has increased or decreased. So feel free to explore our calculator to get more information on it. Perfect. So let's say we finished our first review and we have an option called export. You can either export this reviewed version with all applied findings and tick marks, or you can just export it with only findings. I'm going to apply all the tick marks and findings in an exported version. You have to choose a path where you would like to save it. And once you save the reviewed version, perfect. Let me open the first page, because the first page will have a summary on all the inaccuracies and inconsistencies that were noted within this review procedures. And you can also see the tick mark legend, which explains what each tick mark is. It also includes the custom tick mark as well. And this is very helpful in my opinion, because as an auditor, when I was reviewing the financial statement, the next task was to summarize all the inaccuracies and inconsistencies, but Data Snipper is already doing that for me now. And all the comments are inserted in the form of notes, which either you can retain as it is or customize it. And based on your PDF viewer, you can also see all the comments that were included, in the left or the right panel, where it's easy for you to navigate between the comments. And let's say that we sent this to client, and client addressed a few of the inconsistencies and inaccuracies, and they sent us a new version. So once you receive a new version, you can just close this project. It is auto-saved. And maybe after 15 days, once you receive a new version, you can open the project again and click on version. So these are the logs of versions that you're currently reviewing and that you're currently working on. If you would like to create a new version, you can click on create new version, choose a new document. So the new version, version 2. And if you have a restated prior year version, you can also choose it and click on create version. So the version compare within Financial Statement Suite does 3 tasks. 1, it transfers all your tick mark from the prior year version to the current year version. So you no need to start from scratch. And it will list out wherever the tick marks were not transferred. So it gives you an overview what you need to further investigate and apply the tick mark. And it will also highlight the changes between the tick marks in red and green, or between the values or between the financial statement in red and green, giving you a good overview on what were the changes noted within these financial statements. So as you can see, I'm just going to zoom in. And as you can see, now we have this 15,413, 19,413, where the value has changed. So it gives you a good highlight on the changes that were made. And if you would like to apply the tick mark, you can go to the respective procedure, and you have to just review and apply the tick marks for those where the data or the information was changed, and just retain the remaining tick marks as it is. So I can just click on apply tick marks. So there were just 4 pending suggestions that needs to be processed with a new version. Same with internal consistency, just 4 pending suggestions. And finally, the prior year consistency, 1 pending suggestion. So which means with the new version, you have just processed around 9 tick marks, whereas all the remaining things are already transferred. So you don't need to start from scratch. So this is version compare, very useful when you have different draft versions that you are reviewing to reach the final version, where you no need to do everything from start again and again. Yes, so these were the things that I wanted to explain in today's session. I hope you got some insight about Financial Statement Suite. Back to you, Olga.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Sangeeta. So I'm being a bit mindful about the time. I think we only have a few more minutes left. So I would like to wrap up by first of all saying that of course it's amazing to see all these new features and improvements that the latest version of Financial Statement Suite is bringing to you. But of course, you've heard it enough from us. It's always best to hear what your peers are saying about the value of a Financial Statement Suite. So as you can see here, don't just take our word for it. FSS has proven to be one of the most beloved products in our community. It is truly a game changer, saving users up to 70% of their time while helping them achieve even higher quality results. You can see here that the numbers speak for themselves. Amazing. So let's finalize with a couple remarks. So as I said at the beginning, if you would like to learn more about Financial Statement Suite and how it can help you accelerate your financial statement procedures after witnessing the live demo today, then of course, feel free to reach out to our sales team by scanning the QR code or by going to the chat and going to the links that I have shared there with you. Again, if you would like to upgrade to the latest version, you can do that by reaching out to your Data Snipper representative. Again, the recording will be available to you after the session. So, of course, we will share that and also we will publish it on our website. Let me see. I think we do have 2 more minutes, so I'm going to check whether we have some unanswered questions in the chat. Maybe, Sangeeta, you can also have a look and let me know if there's something that remains unanswered.
Yes, there is an interesting question now. It says, how
Mm-hmm.
about the version compare? I think last time it exports to Excel. Has there been changes to that exported to PDF? Very good question. The version compare that you're talking about is not related to the version compare that we have within the financial statement suite. It is something outside financial statement suite, which is part of our data snipper core platform. And the export is still to an Excel. There are no changes that, yeah, once you have it in Excel, maybe you can then export it to the PDF or maybe convert the Excel sheet into the PDF. But as most of the financial professionals work with Excel, the export is still to the Excel, and you can easily convert that into PDF from the result that you obtained within the Excel.
Amazing. I think the rest of the questions, most of them have been answered. Again, as I said, if you still have questions, please feel free to reach out to us. And with that, I think this brings us to the end of this session. I hope you found this session very valuable, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in one of our upcoming webinars in the future. So thank you all for joining, and enjoy the rest of your day. See you soon.